So you know how we like to start these mornings each and every single week with an attitude of gratitude. I like to see what it is that you're happy and grateful now for, not for me, but for you. So you get into the practice, into the habit of writing out what you're happy and grateful for, because everything that you want in life starts with the words that you're speaking, with what you're writing, with what you're saying, right? And that all has to come from your heart, right? So we're going to go ahead, get into this information. Let's see. They said Javon wins with the morning motivation playlist. Appreciate that. He said, I'm so happy and grateful now for a fresh year to continue pursuing the goals I have for myself and my family. I'm so happy and grateful now to be a consistent trader by May 1st, 2021. I'm so happy and grateful now for 2021, the chance to pursue my dreams and purpose in a fresh way and financial freedom for my whole family. I'm so happy and grateful now for being granted another day of life, family, and the Retired 365 family. I'm so happy and grateful now that I woke up with a clear focus on accomplishing my P150 goal, ready to follow all instructions given to accomplish my goals. Let's get it. So happy and grateful now that I am a chairman 10 by February 28, 2021. I'm a Platinum 5000 by January 31st, 2021. And I have a wonderful team to help and achieve their goals too. For being blessed to be a part of this Retired and 365 family. Say that. I'm so happy and grateful now that God has given me another day and brought me into 2021 with his grace. So happy and grateful now to start over again. Day one from this point. This year, 6 figures will be surpassed, and Chairman 10 is already done. It already exists by the mighty name of Jesus Christ. God bless all within the Retired and 365 family. Hey, real quick, I want y'all to take a quick pause. Go ahead, pull out your phones and text somebody in your family, text somebody in your organization. I'm going to even do it right now and let them know, look, the morning motivation, the morning dedication has started. And if you're dedicated in 2021, if you really want to take this thing to the next level, then you need to get on this call right now. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I want each and every single one of us to go ahead and send those messages out, because we don't want to hear this information alone. We want to make sure that our family, our friends, the people that are in our success team, right, have the opportunity to go ahead and win with us, because it's a lot easier when everybody's on the same page. Shout out to everybody that was on the Believe Bigger Faster call last night. Paris Simmons did an amazing job breaking down exactly what it is that we need to win in 2021. So I should see those numbers start to come up, but let's go ahead and get into the topic of today, right? So it's a new year. You know, a lot of people talk about new year, new me. I see we got, hold on, 2 more happy and grateful nows came through. Happy and grateful now to be able to break the spirit of poverty. Happy and grateful now to be creating generational wealth. Happy and grateful now to be living in the abundance of God. I'm happy and grateful now for a new year, family, friends, and so happy and grateful now for this opportunity in the Retired 365 family. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move the chat to the side and let's go ahead and get into this. So like I said, this is a new year, and a lot of people talk about new year, new me, but you got to ask yourself the honest question: is it really a new year, right? Who's to say that this is a new year? What makes it a new year for you, right? And when you ask yourself that question, you have to be looking inside, because it's not going to be a new year if there's no new you, right? If you're doing the same things that you've been doing last year, the year before that, right? The same actions, the same pitfalls are still tripping you up, then it's not a new year for you. It just happens to be another year with the same, another name, right? But same year that you're living over and over and over again. In 2021, I want each and every single one of you to vow that I'm going to sacrifice the instant gratification. You know, they say that we live in a world of microwave results. We want everything fast. We want to put something in and get it out in a couple minutes, right? Nobody cooks their food on the stove. Nobody takes the time to bake it in the oven. Nobody takes the time to make a full meal. They want everything quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? And you got to understand that to have a successful business, to be a successful investor, investing doesn't come overnight. You don't become an investor after 6 months, after 1 year, right? That's not something that you just do and you're amazing at it, right? You might have some amazing results, but an investor is long term, right? What proves that you're somebody that was a successful investor, you're a successful trader, is when you look back 2, 3, 4 years from now and you're still making money. When you're able to look back 5 years, 10 years in the game and you're still profitable, right? That's what makes you a success. So I definitely understand the value of being able to make money in the short term, the value of putting yourself in a position to start becoming that successful person. But we got to understand that the success is the long-term game, not the short-term gain, right? Let me say that again. Success is the long-term game, not the short-term game. Because what you get right now doesn't matter if you don't have it 6 months from now. It doesn't matter if you don't have it 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, right? Because otherwise you were just in it for a good time. It was something that you got some quick cash for, and it doesn't really matter down the road. So I want you guys to completely understand that if you want to get to that next level, you got to put yourself in a position to be here long term. Now, how does that work for you? First, you got to identify that, look, it's not other people, it's really me, right? Again, it's not other people that's affecting the results that I'm getting, it's me. Right. And it all starts with what it is that we did here this morning with the I'm so happy and grateful now. Shout out to each and every single one of you that wrote one, right? Because it starts with prayer, right? You can't live your blessed life without praying. Now, what is prayer, right? What is prayer? Somebody drop in the chat, what is prayer? Who knows what prayer is? Let's see if we got anybody that knows what prayer is. I'm gonna give y'all a second. Talking to your God, okay? Who else? What is prayer? Anybody else? Communication, right? Prayer is communication. It's the words that you're speaking, right? Everybody wants to be a leader, but we got to understand that we got to develop leadership skills. And one of those leadership skills is being able to speak the right things. Communication with God, communication with whoever. Prayer is the words that are coming out of your mouth, right? And what determines the words that are coming out of your mouth? Shout out to everybody that's listening to the audio of the month already. Shout out to those who've already listened to it a year ago. Shout out to those who've been listening to it. Doesn't matter. But prayer is the words that you're speaking. And the words that you're speaking are coming from the images that you have in your head, right? And those are driven by the emotions that you have, right? So you got to understand that what I'm praying, what I'm speaking over my life each and every single day is going to determine the results that I have. I heard it this way from a young lady this morning, and she said that we put limitations on God. And that really resonated because when you think about everything that we're doing, right, inside of this community, some people come in with goals, right? Whether your goal is $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, 10,000, like whatever those goals are. I want you to really resonate with what I'm saying. How can you put limitations on an unlimited source? Let me put it that way. How can you put limitations on unlimited source? Whether you're talking about God, whether you're talking about a market that trades $7 trillion a day, whether you're talking about people, a network of people, right? There's unlimited people in the world because new people are being born every single day. So we participate in a space that has no limit, right? God has no limit. The market, that, where's the limit in that trillions of dollars? Where's the limit in the people that are going to come into your life, right? Many people, growing up, people will say, God help me pay the bills. God help me do this. God help me do that, right? And yeah, I believe God puts you in a place where you can be able to pay your bills. But the same God that can help pay your bills, why do we believe that he can pay our bills when we're down and out, but we don't believe that he can make us a billionaire? We don't believe that he can make us millionaires. We don't believe that he can take you to chairman. He can give you a 7-8 figure trade account, right? But he can pay your bill because you're on your last, right? Where do you find that disconnect in limiting his power, right? We believe he can cure a cold, right? But we don't believe he can cure incurable diseases, right? You have little prayers, you're going to have little blessings in your life. Let me say that again. If you have little prayers, there's going to be only little blessings that are coming over in your life, right? You got to stop praying for things that are just enough for you to get by and realize that the things that I'm speaking, there's no limit to what I can ask for. So why only ask for the bare minimum? Because if you only ask for the bare minimum, that's all you're going to get, right? I think I told you guys this before, but when I was in sports, one of my coaches used to say this: if you want to get second in a race, like if you say, hey, I plan on getting second today, you're probably going to get second, but you're never going to get first in that race, right? If you're going in with the mentality of I'm going to get second, The best that you're going to do is second place. The worst that you're going to do is last, right? But if you come in with the intention of, I'm going to get first, right? I'm going to win no matter what, no matter who's in the race, no matter what's going on, then guess what? You just might win the race. But it doesn't mean you're going to win just because you said you're going to win, right? You still might get last, but at least now you coming in with the right mentality, right? But if you're coming in with the mentality of, I'm not going to win, you're not going to win the race, right? And that's the same thing in your trade account. If you come in with, I only want to make $100 a day. Well, guess what? If you made $50 today, you're halfway to your goal. So don't, you can't feel, man, I didn't make enough. Your goal was only $100 and you made 50. You're halfway there. You're doing better than most people, right? Now, if your goal is $1,000 and you make 500, hey, it's cool to fall short there, right? If your goal's $10,000, right? You see where I'm going with this? It's okay to fall short, right? Not that it's okay to fall short, but falling short, it feels a lot better when the goal is a lot bigger, right? If the goal is chairman and you end up at platinum 2,000, platinum 5,000, right? Not to say that you're not going to continue to go for that goal, right? Not to say that you're not going to move that date, but the place, the where you end up along the way to get there is going to feel a lot better, right? It's going to feel a whole lot better. And you got to understand the people that you have in your life, they're going to play a big part in what it is that you're doing. You in 2021, you got to go ahead and ask yourself, who are the people that I have around me, right? I got to, number one, stop trying to please everybody, because everybody does not deserve access to who it is that I am today. Right? Sometimes you're going to have to let your phone ring. Sometimes you're going to have to leave those messages unread. Y'all know I got a lot of unread messages in my phone, right? But you got to separate yourself from people who aren't going anywhere, who don't have a vision for their life or yours. People that, you know, when you're slacking off, you know, you just want to sit back, you're watching TV, you're making videos, you're playing games, and they're okay with that. They're comfortable with that, right? Not to say there's nothing wrong with them, but they don't have big visions. They don't have big goals, and they're not here to push you towards your success, right? So if that's the type of people you're hanging around, you got to realize quickly, because they're not going to be the one to realize it. You have to realize that, okay, I need to put myself around people that's going to not, uplift my bad habits. People that are going to help me snap out of the things that I don't need to be doing and put me in a position to go ahead and win. I need to be around people, to be around good company, people that are good for my calling, right? Who are the people that you're hanging around? Are they helping you with your calling, or are they hindering you from your calling, right? Because the fruit that you're going to produce is going to be directly correlated with the people that you're spending your time with, right? If you know that you need to be held accountable, but you're hanging around people that aren't holding you accountable for anything, right? You got to start asking yourself, all right, I need to change who's in this circle. I need to not answer the phone for a little while, right? I think Paris put up a post on Facebook. Let me see if I can see it really quick. But I'll say it this way: don't mismanage the miracle in the moment, right? Don't mismanage your miracle in the moment. And the way that he had it on his page, and I got it right here, he says, this year, there we go. This year, I pray you don't mishandle anything that you prayed for, right? If you pray for something, if you prayed for that 6-figure, that 7-figure trade account, you prayed for chairman in the back office, you prayed for something in your personal life, right? The reality is that stuff is going to come, and you're going to have an opportunity to go ahead and get that. But you also got to understand there's going to be plenty of chances for you to go ahead and fumble the bag, right? As they say, fumble the bag, because think about it. The markets don't want you to win. We talked about this before. The markets aren't designed for you to win. If you want to win, you got to go ahead and take profit. If you want to win in your business, you got to go ahead and pick up the phone. If you want to keep people in your business, you got to go ahead and pick up the phone and call them. If you want to go ahead and make sure that you're winning in whatever it is that you're doing, you have to take the initiative, because nobody else is going to take the initiative for you to win other than you. A lot of you have self-inflicted trials that you've been going through, right? But this is the year of accountability, right? This is the year of accountability in your trade account, the year of accountability in your business, right? You want to get to that platinum 600, that platinum 1,000. All right, go ahead and pick up the phone. If you have 2 people in the business, 3 people in the business, don't expect those 3 people to take you to chairman, right? If you have 10 people in the business, don't expect those 10 people to take you to platinum 5,000. If you have 20 people in the business, same, so on and so forth, right? You help cultivate who you have, but you also got to go ahead and find new people who see the vision. Because there's going to be somebody in your life that already sees what it is that you want to do and they want to run towards it, right? Same thing with your trade account. You're up a certain number of pips, go ahead, take profit. I've gotten a lot better at that, right? I'm up 300 pips. I'm like, all right, bet, let me go ahead and take profit. Thank God I did, right? Turns the other way, was able to catch it the other way as well. Because now you're able to see things different, right? It's so different once you start being accountable for what it is you're doing. You're going to start winning on all ends of this other spectrum, right? But that again goes back to what Paris and Charles have been talking about. Be careful who you're listening to. Who are those people that are speaking into your life? Who's that voice of reason that's speaking to you that you're choosing to listen to on a regular basis? And if you're listening to other things, do those other things align with what it is that your mentor is telling you to do? Right? You can't expect other people to do what's right. You have to go ahead and make sure that you're doing what's right in your life. Sometimes you got to have an argument with yourself, right? The minister said, he said, sometimes you got to have an argument with yourself because your flesh will get you in trouble, right? So if you know that you're going to be getting yourself in trouble, sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, all right, you need to do something different. Like, you know, you're going down the wrong path. You know, this is not going to be a favorable outcome for what it is that you want, right? We have a book that we just finished reading. The name of the book is Think and Grow Rich, right? Think and Grow Rich. You have to think different in order to get different results. Otherwise, you'll remain trapped in where you are, right? And I'm pretty sure that nobody wants to stay where they are right now. But if you want to stay where you are right now, all right, then why are you here? This is not the place to be if you want to remain stagnant. This is not the place to be if you don't want to elevate in life. This is the place to be if you want to grow. If you want to grow spiritually, if you want to grow mentally, if you want to grow emotionally, if you want to grow financially, this is where you need to be. But if you don't want to grow, then how are you going to get your bank account to grow, right? I heard a story. It said, it's easy to be trapped in clothes that don't fit, right? I don't know if anybody has ever tried to put something on that didn't fit just right. Maybe it was a little bit too small, right? Whether it's maybe some jeans, maybe it's a shirt, maybe it's a jacket. If you put something on that's too small, what's going to happen is when you try to take it off, it's going to be harder to get it off than it was to get it on, right? You got to let some stuff go, right? And like Paris talked about yesterday, you don't check the temperature, right, with a thermostat. You check the temperature with a thermometer, right? You can't change the environment of where you are unless you're inside of that environment and you're the one that's changing. You have to be the thermostat for your environment. You have to be the one that changes if you want other people around you to change, right? Be the person that puts people around the right information. Be the person that works on your spirit, right? Work on the things that it is that you know that you need to have the results it is that you want. You know, what did Paris talk about yesterday? He said, you need a hero. That person has to have past results, current results, and character, right? Past results, current results, and character. Is the person that you're following, if the person that you're following is yourself, then you're following the wrong person because yourself doesn't have the past results or the current results, right? So you got to understand, all right, I need to find that hero, right? I need to listen to the instruction that's being given, and I need to go ahead and focus until I get to where it is that I want to go. And then, of course, continue that same action, right? I know we got a few people that already reached out that are going ahead and connecting with their chairman leaders, right? And going ahead and putting together their schedule, putting together their 2021. And you got to ask yourself, am I doing what I need to get to that next level? Do I have a schedule for when I'm going to trade? Do I have a schedule for, is it, number one, is the schedule written out? Not do I have a schedule, is the schedule written out? Because the instruction was to have a written schedule, right? If you don't already have a schedule book, go ahead and get one today. Like Paris said, write it on a sheet of paper until you're able to get that calendar, right? And this last thing really just ties this all together because you want to be in a position where you're not quitting. You're not quitting on yourself. You're not quitting on your reason why. You're not quitting on anything that you set out to do, right? And I only going to say this to the people that truly want to get where it is they want to go. Because some people say they want to get someplace in life, but the reality is they don't. The reality is they're comfortable where they are and they don't want to grow. And sometimes right? If that's the person that you are, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say that's you, right? But if you want to get somewhere new, you got to identify what it is that's holding me back, right? And then go ahead and start to change those things. I think it was Mr. Tyrone Foster had did a live yesterday, and he was talking about the reasons that most people quit Forex. He was just giving some different examples, and it was a really good live for those that follow like D-Lo Nation. But he said most people quit within their first 6 months to go do something even harder. Let that sit in. Most people quit the easiest thing that they've ever done to go do something harder to make less money, right? You know how hard it is to actually get on a session and make money consistently for an entire year? It's not that hard. It's not that hard to get on a session and follow somebody that already has results and do what it is that they're doing and make the money, right? The 2%, the 3%, the 4%, the 5% on your account. That part's not hard. The hard part is you being consistent. The hard part is actually showing up, whether or not the results look the way you want them to look on that same day. That's the hard part, is looking at yourself. I decided from day one, I don't care what the results look like. I'm showing up, win, lose, draw, it don't matter until it works, right? But some people come in with the mentality of, I want to be a professional. I want to be a professional within my first 30 days, my first 90 days, my first 6 months, right? Think about that. How do you want to be a professional at something within 6 months? It doesn't make sense, because to be a professional means I put in the time, I have the results, I've learned the skill. We call this a skill because it's something that you have to learn. It's like you coming into a sport and saying, I want to be a professional, and you've never played before in your life, right? Yes, there's going to be some people with natural ability. Yes, there's going to be some people that are going to be consistent early, but you're not a professional until you've put in that time, right? Again, you can make $100,000 in the next 60 days, but you're still not a professional if you haven't maintained that 6 months from now, if you haven't maintained that a year from now. Why do you think number 5 on the 5-step fast start is commit to 18 months, right? Because that's when you'll know how consistent you've been. That's when you finally get a rhythm going. That's when you put yourself in a position to actually go ahead and win, right? I couldn't call myself a professional athlete in middle school. I couldn't call myself a professional in high school, right? I was good, but there's different levels for everything that you do. Even the people that come out of high school and go to the pros, right? There's still that learning curve. Yes, they have the talent, but at the end of the day, there's still things that they need to learn and get to before they're actually out there dominating on the next level like they have the potential to do. Right now, you have the potential to be a multi-million-dollar investor, to be a billionaire, to be all those things that you want to be. But in order to actually get there, you got to put in the time, right? You got to, what do we always say? You got to be whack. You got to really be whack to go ahead and get there. Again, not answering calls from some people, right? Be willing to set yourself apart from some of those situations that don't benefit you. You got to be able to actually go out there and do the work consistently, no matter what it looks like, right? Able, consistent, right? And then you got to be confident that you can actually go and do it. And that with confidence and consistency go hand in hand, right? The confidence and consistency, the more consistent you are, the more confident you'll be. The more confident you are, the more consistent you'll be. They go hand in hand. But you got to be willing to actually go out there and do the work each and every single day, no matter what it looks like, no matter what the results, because you know at the end of the day, it's already done. And if you believe that, then doing the work is not going to feel like a chore. You're not going to be down when things don't go your way, right? If I lose a trade, if I lose I'm on to the next, right? It's on to the next one, because I know at the end of the day what the results are going to be, right? And you got to have that mentality as well in your trade account, in your business, and in everything that you already do. Know it's already done, right? So it's 2021. Like I said, I'm calling this a year of accountability. I hope that each and every single one of you really takes inventory on what it is that you need to get to that next level, right? Write that thing down, have your calendar planned out if you haven't already, and go ahead and stick to that. We got some amazing things planned for you guys to help you win, right? This isn't just for us. This is about the collective going ahead and winning. But you got to make sure that you're doing your part. Make sure that you're going inside of your back office. Make sure you're going through the academy again, right? When I listen to chairmen, when I listen to top traders, I hear them talk about how many times they've gone through the education, how they still go through the academy, right? I hear them talk about who they're watching on Go Live every single day consistently, right? And then when I listen to people who don't have the results it is they want, I hear how, hey, who's your favorite educator? I don't know. Well, what do you mean you don't know? Who are you watching on Go Live? Well, how far into the course have you actually gotten? The thing that you paid for, right? How many videos have you actually watched in that? You're only on the 200 series. Okay, cool, right? So you got to really get into what are you actually doing to get the things that you say you want. Because if you want it, you're going to go get it, and you're not going to wait for somebody else to hand it to you, right? Nobody has to hand you Go Live. It's already there. It's already recorded for you. Nobody has to hand you the academy, right? The schedule is already posted for everything. You have everything you need. Now it's up to you to not mismanage the thing that you already have, right? So don't mismanage your trade account. Don't mismanage the access that you have inside of this community, the strategies that you have, the community that you have, right? And put yourself in a position to get more, obviously using the comp plan. So you don't have to worry about not mismanaging a $50 account, a $100 account, right? Because trading is so much easier when there's more money in the account. Trust me. And if you guys have been taking any of those swipe coin trades, any of the trades coming through the group, you be up a smooth 5K plus pips over the last 7-ish days because they've been hitting each and every single time, right? And if you don't know how to use it, that's okay, right? But let today be the last day you don't know how to use any of that stuff, right? If you don't know how to use something inside of the platform, hey, how does swipe coin work? Go ahead. There's a thing called the DCX Academy in your back office. You're going to want to go ahead and click that and go through the videos, right? Click the DCX channel inside of Go Live and go ahead and watch the educator's favorites, right? If you want to know how high frequency works, right? How do you think myself? How do you think Jasmine? How do you think Binary B, right? The Binary Bully, right? Mr. King Eze, cut the check. How do you think these people are having these results, right? Because they went inside the academy and they learned the information and they applied it to the markets, right? You got to get the education first before you can get the results. Hey, shout out 5-0 this morning. Go ahead, right? You got to get the education. Then it's going to be like clockwork. It's going to be that unconscious competence. You're going to wake up, you're going to look at the market, you're going to be like, oh, it's doing all right, click. It's sometimes I just wake up, I look at, all right, oh, that thing's set up perfect. Like Charles did on Skittles last night. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's set up? All right, bet. Bye. It's done. Look back at your phone 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hour later. I mean, this depends on the type of trader you are. I like to scalp. Hey, oh, all right, bet. We out. It's over. But it doesn't get to that point until you actually put the time in on the education, right? Then the questions that you ask are going to be a lot different. You know how your mentor knows if you've been studying? Based off of the questions that you ask. You know, the conversation that I have with Charles and Paris, whether it's on trading or building, are completely different because I'm listening to the audios, because I'm inside the education. So I'm asking a more educated question, right? It's not, hey, what are pips? Because that's in like one of the first videos that you watch, right? Now, if you need a further explanation on that, that's different, right? But we got to make sure that we're doing our part, going in the education that you paid for, right? You paid for access to multi-million of dollar traders, right? Hey, I'm good. I'm not pretty good. I am great, right? But let me tell you, I am, as of January 4th, 2021, today, there is not $1 million physical dollars in my trade account, right? So don't ask me about how to get to the $1 million, because there's a guy on Go Live that's showing you how to do it that you chose not to watch, right? Because I'm watching him. That's why I'm getting the results I'm getting, right? But you got to go ahead and get it from the same place. And that's how we're all going to win. Making sure we're getting the right information. We're plugging into these educators. We're using what we paid for, because otherwise, why are we here? Why are we spending money, right? In order to get a return, if we're not putting in the time to get the education to get the return that we want. All right. So that's what I got for you guys today. It's about accountability. Let's go ahead. Let's win a new year. I don't know about you, but it's time for some high frequency trading. It's time for some digital currencies to be moving. I hope you guys caught some of those moves. If you haven't, make sure you have your DCX package. Make sure you are plugged in to all the signals. If you don't know how to use it again, make sure you show up to the beginners setup calls that we're going to be having throughout the week when the schedule drops, so you can learn where everything is. But to be honest, you don't have to wait, because everything's in your back office. Go to im.center, right? And there's a whole handbook right there that walks you through everything. Yes, everything that we have here is a bonus. We're here to help you make sure that you're in position to win, but the Academy has already done it all, right? We're just that bonus community that you get access to if you find yourself a little bit lost, right? But don't use that as a crutch. Use that as an assistant tool once you've already gone and done the work for yourself. All right. So we're here to help. We definitely wish each and every single one of you guys the best. Go ahead, hold yourself accountable, write those lists out, write those calendars. And that's all I got for you guys today. Tonight at 8 o'clock, we have an opportunity call. You definitely want to make sure that you're plugged in. 8 o'clock tonight, it will be posted in the chat along with the new schedule. We also have a brand new book of the month and audio of the month, Conceive, Believe, Achieve, Mr. David Imonitie. You definitely want to make sure that you get that book as soon as possible, right? You definitely want to get that book, and you want to put yourself in position to go ahead and read that every single day. 15 minutes a day of reading will put you in position to go ahead and get through that information. And as you're doing that, you can listen to that audio, whether it's at night, whether it's in the morning, whether it's during your workday, whether you're in the car driving, whatever that time you set aside, but put that in your planner. Schedule that time out. When am I going to have my 15 minutes of reading? When am I going to listen to the audio each day, right? If you schedule it out, like we talked about months ago, success is not an accident. There's no way that you can't have enough time to do any of that stuff if you plan to have the time, right? A plan is not a plan until you go ahead and write it down.